go through that, or they need to clarify some questions from the application. But once you start the quote and apply tool, you enter your client's name, their gender, their health class. For simplification, I'm just going to run it preferred non-tobacco. I suggest all the new agents, when they think they have somebody who's healthy, they quote no better than preferred non-tobacco. Don't quote super preferred. Better go back to your client with a better rate than to have to explain why they're not paying the premium you quoted. The system automatically will determine tobacco class for your client depending on what kind of product they use. A lot of cannabis users, pipe smokers, chewing tobacco users, and just those three. Snuff users can get a non-tobacco rate where with certain carriers versus tobacco with others. The system asks them what kind of tobacco or cannabis use they're using. The choice between cannabis, chews, cigarettes, cigars, we will do cannabis since that's been pretty prevalent the last 3 years, getting quite a few. They ask you how often they use it. Put down monthly. You are then prompted to enter in the height and weight of your client. This weeds out some of the surprise declines we get or table ratings. For simplification, I'm going to put his weight as 240. Date of birth. Now remember, I put in preferred non-tobacco as a rate. We're going to go to term. Oh, let me go to the previous screen. I'm sorry. I should have shown that a little better for people who aren't familiar with the system. You get a choice between term, return a premium term. We have one product on the platform. Permanent insurance, which compares IUL, GUL, participating and non-participating whole life with or without chronic illness or long-term care riders.
So Philippe, I know you're a big IUL guy, and I know you know how to do this, but your downline agents don't. So you can use this platform to even do IUL stuff. I keep talking about term insurance, but IULs are in here too.
Oh yeah, IULs are great. We have a participating whole life plan with Life of the Southwest with living benefits. That's pretty incredible. I love that critical illness rider, Andy. The chronic illness on a permanent plan is pretty invaluable as well. And we have the long-term care riders. We have your long-term care policies that covers traditional standalone long-term care. We'll have 3 on the platform: Thrivent, National Guardian Life, and Mutual of Omaha. And then we have burial expense, final expense insurance, and guaranteed issue accidental death insurance.
And on that one, Kevin, agents you're talking to are constantly asking, well, I got a client with a health issue. What do I do? Same system, same platform. They can still end up with a guaranteed issue product if that's
exactly. Yep. We have accidental death and traditional graded death benefit final expense. That's guaranteed issue. And then we have another whole life design right here, which is a little redundant, but for some of our agents, it simplifies things. And their LIRP design. Your clients can quote their own LIRP plan if they like, which is life insurance retirement planning. I chose term because I am excited about that instant issue with Banner, which is pretty incredible. And I thought we'd go with that. All right, so your client looks at these, sees they can get a 10-year term for $165 a month, 15-year term for $205 a month. The system has weeded out anybody based on their tobacco status. So you're going to see quite a difference in the premiums. And you'll see the premiums are running from $205 to $931 a month. These difference in premiums are those companies that give non-tobacco rating for cannabis users and sorting the applicant, using their build.
So we get that question all the time, like, who's got the best rates if I have a client that's a cannabis user? Exactly. Guys, we don't have time to be sitting there calling up in 20 insurance companies and figuring out how they handle cannabis. This does it all for you.
And this is a cannabis user who's a little heavy. You know,
Right.
5'9", 240 pounds. System sorts it out by you. You know, try to cut back on the declines. When you choose the banner application or the Pacific Life application, there will be a redirect during the process because of their instant issue process. But you get most of your basics answered within the system. Because of this redirect, I want to go with a traditional underwritten product.
But to
We'll
your
choose,
point, though, Todd, I'm sorry I keep interrupting you. I'm just trying to
yeah,
point a few things out. But for $1 more a month from the lowest, you can go with no physical exam.
you go with no physical exam and possibly instant issue. If the person's standard non-tobacco or better and has seen a doctor for a complete age-appropriate physical in the last 18 months, they go through the instant issue process unless there's a problem with one of the answers on the application, right?
And that's how you're going to get these cases placed.
Yeah, that's how you get them
fast.
placed quickly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Longer it takes, worse it gets.
Yeah, your first case is going to take a little over a week, even if it was approved instant issue, simply because we have to go through the contracting process. The background check and everything else the company does takes a little while. After that, instant issue really is instant issue where it gets mailed the next day at the latest. Well, actually, it gets emailed directly the same day if they choose e-delivery, which is pretty incredible. And with auto draft and everything else, you can get paid that week. I'm going to choose North American's term. I like the living benefits. You have that chronic, critical, and terminal illness rider. I think that's invaluable for term insurance. The chances of them receiving a death benefit are pretty slim. The chances, especially if you have a 45-year-old buying a 30-year term, chances of them being diagnosed with a heart attack, stroke, cancer over the next 30 years are pretty good, and being able to access that death benefit, to help pay for treatment, et cetera, is invaluable. Once again, they'll ask you for the client's email address, phone number. They'll ask you if you want to send a link to this application. You click yes.
So what does that link include? Does that include the application as well?
That includes just a HTTP link that brings them right to this screen.
Okay.
They enter in their date of birth for security. That brings them to the application process.
Nice.
Now, the link sends them an email and a text, assuming you put in their cell phone number. We've had applicants actually apply using their cell phone.
Oh, man.
And people have completed a paper application on a life insurance. That's pretty amazing. Go to the next step. And I'm sorry for the delay. It does this with, we do a demo on Teams. For some reason, it slows down my system, but it will go quicker for you at home. You enter in your address. And right there, got me on the pre-fill. There we go. Is John currently employed? For simplicity's sake, I'm going to put no. When you hit yes, they'll ask you for your employer's information. Will John be the owner of the policy? No, you have the opportunity for a business, a trust, or an individual to own the policy other than yourself. Simplicity, I'm going to make John the owner of the policy. Individual beneficiary. Sorry about that. There we go. Address for the beneficiary. Contingent beneficiary, just skip that step. Annual income. John's got some money. 50,000. Social Security number. Where they were born. Citizenship question. Now, we can actually write people here that are not on a valid visa life insurance, as long as they have an ITIN number with Prudential, and we have other options for you as well. So if any of your agents run into this situation, they could reach out to me and I can show them some options. If we know they have an ITIN number and they're here on a non-valid visa, Prudential term, right there, they could do it on hold and apply. Does John have a driver's license? Yes.
Hey, Tyler, we're running a little short on time.
Okay.
Right. But I think everybody's got the gist of it. These
yeah,
guys
you go through the whole process.
once
they answer the questions, everything's done. A DocuSign email sent to your client. They sign it via DocuSign. After they sign it, either the owner has to, if they're not the same as the insured. If not that situation, the agent signs the application. The application in their contracting submitted to the carrier automatically via the system, and underwriting begins.
That's good stuff, Todd. So I
Yeah.
wanted to take the last few minutes that we have to the bottom of the hour for a couple of things. First of all, questions for Todd Marquardt.
No, just compliments.
Thank you, Todd.
That was Larry. Okay.
Mike, the only question I would have is, do we just contract with BackNine for all the carriers, or do we need to do each carrier appointment?
Okay.
Go ahead, Todd. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
It's an online contracting process for 95% of the carriers. You enter in your information once, just like we did with the quote and apply application. There are special circumstances where carriers have their own onboarding sites like Life of the Southwest, Mass Mutual, in those situations. Yeah, you'll get a link to their sites to contract, but usually it's just you do the one process. We submit the application, you're contracting as soon as you write business.
So let me
Jacob,
pay us, or go ahead.
Yeah, let me just take a
Let me
step
tell you
back and
this,
make sure that I'm covering this. So, Jacob, if this is something you're wanting, we're going to get you a link that you can use to send to any agent that you want. And once they literally fill out name and NPN number, they are now attached to you.
And
Nobody contracts for anything until they actually make a sale.
Jacob,
So
it's the
they-
most phenomenal thing you've ever seen. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So that way you're
Sounds
not
like
wasting time contracting with 20 different insurance companies. Once you make a Life of the Southwest or a Banner or whatever sale, then it triggers the contracting process. BackNine handles all that for you. And then the policy gets issued, but not until the agent actually submits business.
Gotcha.
Now, if they submit business with Banner again, well, then they don't have to go through recontracting again. That's already been taken care of. And then it really becomes instant issue, or, whatever the case that you're selling. But that's the beauty of this is anybody you guys are recruiting, you should get them the BackNine link, because agents need to find ways of making sales fast. And this does it.
Jacob, I push a lot of life because we tie that to Medicare. This is just unbelievable. Agents who don't know what they're doing, but I could get them out selling life insurance. Boom, all they do is submit it. Electronically, it's done for them. It's unreal.
It's awesome.
And I'm here to help the agents who are less experienced. We can do training online. Larry, I worked with Cherno yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yes, and we'll be a great kid.
Yeah.
We'll be doing another meeting next week.
Yeah, he's hot to try. He really is.
That's the
young
other
man,
nice thing about what Todd Marquardt does is every time you guys send the link and somebody fills it out, he picks up the phone and he calls them and he trains them. You don't even have to go through these demos. He'll call every one of them. He'll get them engaged. He'll get them quoting. That's the beauty of BackNine is they'll do all that work for you.
one more praise for him. He helps gets the policies issued.
Yeah.
If there's difficulty, he
Hey,
steps
and
in.
I'm sorry, Larry.
Go ahead. No, I'm good.
Hey, and if you're interested for the recruiting link, just go to our contracting page and it's on there. You'll be able to sign up. You'll see BackNine and Barrett, like Todd said, your name, NPN, and you're ready to roll.
Onboarding, as soon as you enter in the agent's name, email address, and NPN number, they get a quote and apply link, a link to our boss system to complete the contracting process, and they're ready to go once they upload their E&O and avoid the check. And the carriers pay the agents directly.
So while, I'm sorry, go ahead, Billy.
And so we have a downline that gets contracted with BackNine, and they sell a policy for Banner. They get contracted with Banner. However, I'm not contracted with Banner at all. Do I need to get contracted before or when my downline does so that I can get commission on that?
No, you don't. You're just getting an override, and we pay the override to Andy, who pays you or Andy. We can pay it to them ourselves, like we do with Kevin and everything else. We pay you directly, so you don't even have to be, licensed in that state to receive an override. If you wrote a for a commission, you have to be written licensed. For an override, you don't.
Yeah, just to be clear, Todd, all of our leaders get paid directly. So
Yeah.
BackNine's not paying us, and then we're paying you. The agent gets paid directly by the carrier, and you guys get paid directly by BackNine. You do a real nice job of providing an electronic commission statement, so you can see all your overrides. You don't have to get contract. You don't have to worry about the states or all that. That's all on the agent.
And then you get
Right.
emails on all your downlines cases. If you don't want that, you just tell me. We can turn that off in the system. You can turn it off yourself if you like. You could decide just to receive commission emails or submissions of cases above $5,000 emails. I can walk you through that. But we
Folks,
do send
new
quite a few
agents-
emails.
New agents need hand-holding, and this is the ultimate hand-holding tool.
Yeah.
You can keep trying to send them to the carriers, and we've gone down this path already because the agent will say, "Oh, well, I can get advances if I work directly with XYZ insurance company." And BackNine does not do advances. Let's just be clear. There are no advances on any plan. But here's the problem. They don't get them issued. Whereas doing it with BackNine, the cases get issued. They're making money only if cases get issued. You guys go do all the fancy stuff you want, but agents, they don't know what they're doing. All right. Any other questions for Mr. Marquardt?
Just a big thanks.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Guys, go Cowboys. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.